Welcome to AledTALKS. This is part 2 of our interview with Nicola Evans.
Very positive.
And funny.
Yeah, you were always painful in class. I will actually say that you were painful, but you were always funny in regards to having a laugh. You knew when to be serious, but you always liked having a laugh. Did your mum and dad kind of promote the fact for you to talk and laugh at yourself, because you've always done it? And lots of girls I wouldn't see them laughing at themselves and having, just if they made a mistake, they just got to laugh at it. It's just a moment in time and stuff. You've always been able to do that. Even today, when we were training today, if you made a mistake, you would laugh at it, question it, but then improve, and that's a cycle. But did your parents instigate that, or did it help you?
To be honest, I think playing in a team sport really helped me with that, and also a big thing that my sister laughs about it now, because she was the queen of it herself, but speech and drama from 4 years old all the way through till I was 16.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. And the first 8 years of it, my dad made me go.
Yeah.
And along with ballet and gymnastics, and I wasn't overly keen. I really didn't want to go to ballet, and then they made me Pocahontas in the end of year play, and I really didn't. I didn't enjoy it. And then brownies and Girl Guides. But you know what? My parents always said, you go, and they really helped me with this, is give it a try. If you don't like it, you don't have to go back. But you never know until you try something if you're going to like it. And
because obviously I'm kind of from a bit of a gymnastics background, and I still like doing the moves and stuff, and how people learn actually cartwheels and handstands, because I think it's great for their body. But how many years of gymnastics?
Not enough.
Was it?
Biggest regret.
Serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Rebecca did it a lot longer than me.
Right.
Your flexibility and your range of movement as an athlete, that stems, and by practicing it, you can only get better at it. And because I let it go when I went into secondary school, because I didn't have the time as well. You can't do everything. There comes a certain point where you have to pick some things that you want to pursue, or you like more than others, and maybe there's a couple of reasons for it. But if I could go back to my younger self, gymnastics would be one that I regret not keeping up a bit longer.
And you say you're writing things down still on a daily basis?
Every day.
Every day. I know the Olympics now has changed from this year. What's the goal? Short term, if you give me what your goal for the next kind of 2-3 months is, what's your goal for the next, until the end of the year? And then obviously probably the bigger goal then is probably in a year's time is the Olympics anyway. But what's your goal for the next couple of months? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I suppose at the moment my biggest goal is to improve my flexibility as an athlete, and give my body a bit of time that I have a bit more time on my hands now. And I'm grateful to have a bit of time at home, because I live quite a busy life, so I've never been at home for this long a period. And so let me tell you that I make an unbelievable banana bread, along with half the country. But before everyone else was baking banana bread in quarantine, my banana bread is second to none.
Jeez.
So my baking and my cooking, I've put a lot of time into my cooking at the moment, because my diet is something that's really important to me, and I actually really enjoy cooking. I find it quite therapeutic, but it's quite time consuming, so having a bit more time at the moment. I also love gardening, as I touched on earlier.
So that's short term. What about the end of the year? Do you think anything's going to happen with you in the hockey? Do you think I know none of us are experts in this kind of the virus kind of thing, but if there was hockey to come back in, what is it for you now? If the hockey was going to come back in before the new year, what is it? Are you back in Irish camp, or? Yeah,
so that would be the plan. To have a bit of downtime now and do things that we enjoy doing, and then hopefully that we can come out of this on the brighter side of things, and get back into the national programme before the year end, ideally like September time. Get back training with the girls, and the turn of the year, while the Olympics is postponed, and obviously naturally really disappointed with it, but it was the right call, and it's something far more bigger going on in the world right now than sport. There will always be sport, but at the moment it's life or death. So on the turn of the year, then you're looking into an Olympic year, and for me that's always been the dream. Like, we talk about me as a young kid, and I will never forget the Sydney 2000 Olympics, where we got to leave the classroom and go into the sports hall in our primary school, and on the projector screen they played Sonia O'Sullivan's race where she medalled. And in my head at the time, I was thinking, all I want to do is represent my country.
Well, how old were you then?
So I was 9 years old then.
Jeez.
And I didn't know at the time what sport it was going to be, but I knew that I wanted to play at the pinnacle of a sport at the Olympics. And for me, she was a massive role model growing up, because there wasn't really many, particularly many female role models when I was growing up. And as if you know me, I'm a massive Manchester United fan, and back then were the glory days. But I'm suffering a bit of hardship at the moment, and so is my father, mind you. But the Dublin football team, like all sports really, like I have a big passion for it.
Because if you with a kind of, when I actually say, for example, I like to call you an athlete, because I call you an athlete that plays hockey. So you were always an athlete growing up, because you could actually, it was just a matter of, if you'd gone to another school that was very netball orientated, you probably might have ended up playing netball for Ireland. Or if you'd gone to a cricketing school, you might have ended up cricket. You could have. Where do you sit with women in sport? I know there's a vision there, 2020. But in regards to, like, I know you did, sorry, I'm going to ask you another question to go around the houses. Is, I know you talked about dedication and discipline and everything, and you have it for sport. What about your schoolwork? Where, you don't have to tell us what you got in your leaving or your junior, but did those skills of dedication and discipline help you in school?
Yeah, they did, but it took me a bit of a while to figure it out. So it did, and I can be completely honest, like, I actually repeated my leaving cert.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
In Alex?
No, in the institute.
So you weren't happy the first time round?
So it was a bit of a mix. I was actually quite sick in fifth year, and I had a bad injury in fifth year, so I missed a lot of the chunk of the coursework which you actually do in fifth year.
Right.
So in sixth year I played a lot of catch up, but I did a good leaving cert the first time round, and I was happy with it, but I knew myself, I was disappointed in myself because I knew I could do better.
Yeah.
And it was my decision to repeat.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you went to the institute, so that's in some people's eyes, that somebody might look at this and just go, oh, that was a failure.
Yeah.
But out of failure comes another branch of maybe dedication, discipline, and having a higher standard goal. Because you did all right the first time, but you just weren't happy enough, were you?
But you learn the most about yourself when you fail.
Yeah.
Okay, so you learn. So with
what
you learn a lot about yourself as a person. You learn a lot about yourself as to where you are in achieving your goals. I was off there. Okay, why were you off? Think. Yeah. And sometimes, it might not be down to lack of effort or trying hard. Like, there might be other factors involved in it. But can you always say, well, for myself, I'm so dedicated, self-motivated, resilient, hardworking, determination. Have I given all those pillars? Yeah. And if I haven't, then sometimes it's on you, and you just have to look back and reflect on it and how can I be better?
But it doesn't make you a bad person, does it? It makes you a better person.
Of course.
I think what from sports psychology and from a life skill is that you've re-evaluated, because you've had a goal, you didn't quite reach it. So what you did was you re-evaluated that goal and then set another goal that was achievable, and then said, yeah, I can do this, and let's go for it again. So you reset it, got this goal. Then what did you do academically wise? You went to UCD or Trinity? Or?
I studied here in UCD, business and law. Yeah, got a first class honours in UCD.
Jeez, you played for Ireland. You got first class. How do you manage to study and get a first? Obviously, you have to work hard anyway. So how do you manage your time? Did you write everything down? Like you mentioned writing did you write things down and said, right, I'm going to do this, then, go to college then go and train then? Did you write everything down then?
Yeah, definitely. Like, time management is a big part of my daily routine, and you want to go to college. Yeah. You want to do X course. How are you going to get there? So you go to what I've always done is you go to the X goal, and you work back to right here today. So how am I going to get there? And then you break it all down. Okay, so from a studying context, this is my Leaving Cert course, this is the syllabus, this is what I need to know.
Yeah.
Break it down. Okay, this is the exam paper, this is how it's going to be asked, this is the format of it, this is what I need to do. And then what is the list of, put everything down on a piece of paper, what I need to do, and then break it down, because I know I only have 3 hours a day to study this subject. And my best friend here, she doesn't play sport, she goes to the gym and she keeps healthy, but she's got 6 hours a day. So I have to get my work done in that time frame. So I've always said that if you have time management and time pressures on yourself, you actually are far more productive and far more efficient with your time and what you're getting through. So we're both doing the same course. Sometimes you get a better grade, you know, it depends how hard you work.
And do you know when you do your list, do you do a straight list from top to the bottom of the page, or are you more of a mind mapper where you get it put in the middle and you write around it? Because it'd be interesting to know, because I'd like to know what you do. So do you do just a straight list of? So
initially I'm a mind mapper, so I'm a timeliner. So what is my timeline? I draw it, today's date here. Where is it? Is it the Olympics? Is it a sporting context? Is it a life context, career, exam, project? And that's my map. So that's my big picture. Then my little picture are my lists.
Right.
So then I break it down into the lists, and then it turns into my daily routines, which is really specific. So the goal is quite vague. Not vague, sorry. The goal is broad. This is, I need an A in English. How am I going to get it? 2 Leaving Cert papers, poets, themes, narratives, essay, and then it will come to a Saturday morning. Sylvia Plath, need to nail her, need to do my comprehension. So it's that basic.
I didn't do A level. A level was it Leaving Cert with you, isn't it? Yeah.
Leaving Cert,
Right,
so
that's the end of part 2. In part 3 and 4, we discuss with Nikki about goal setting, her academic achievements, and then we look back on the World Championships in London, where Ireland reached the final and got a silver medal. So we discuss the events after the event, what happened during the event, and looking forward to the Olympics. I hope you're really enjoying the series so far, and hopefully we see you very, very soon. Thank you.